Welcome to another episode of Falcor's Mighty Adventures. Today I woke up with a sore throat, which for anyone who's been paying attention, that's pretty bad. Because I'm technically using immune suppressants right now, which is part of the post-treatment of what I had to go through, the leukemia, this acute leukemia. Because basically, since I have someone else's bone marrow in me, spoiler alert, that bone marrow could attack me because it produces cells that are not made by my body, and over time it's going to get used to it. My body's going to adapt, and it shouldn't be a problem. But for now, the first 6 months, I believe, I have to take immune suppressants, and those immune suppressants. Basically, I have an immune system, but it's not as good as like someone who's perfectly healthy. For now. Later on, it's going to be apparently exactly the same, like as if nothing had ever happened. But for now, I gotta be careful. So I woke up today with sore throat. Actually, it was kind of scratchy yesterday too. I think that's why I was feeling kind of low energy. And a friend of mine's like, you've got the rones, my friend, you've got the rones. And she had no idea that I had gone through what I went through, and she later told her, I'm like, I've been through worse. and then I talked to her a little, and she realized, what was going on, and she's like, oh crap, you don't have it, I promise everything's gonna be okay. I'm like, it's fine, I know everything's gonna be okay. I jinxed it. But yeah, so today we're gonna stick to funny stuff, things that don't have to do with disease, and I'm gonna talk about. Look how easily we kill this spider queen. Didn't even stand a chance. Falcor's becoming powerful. So I'm gonna talk about another hot topic that's actually not so fashionable anymore, but it used to be a thing. Remember when everyone was talking about bullying? Well, today we're gonna talk about bullying. Have you ever been bullied? Have you been a bully? Big questions. Well, in case you haven't noticed from the last episode, I was kind of a bully sometimes in my life. Never anything severe, like I never went out to look for someone and beat the crap out. I never did anything like that. But I was a little aggressive with people in my life sometimes. Do I regret it? Yeah, of course. Like, it's never nice to be a bad guy, but I also admit I was still a kid when I did all that stuff, and I had no idea what I was doing. And in case it wasn't clear, Santosh and I became best friends, and no one beat him up, and we weren't gonna hurt him. That's just crap. Like, maybe I didn't express myself well enough. Like I said that we were gonna slap him around. We were just gonna maybe push him once. And I know it's not an excuse. It's not anything better than, something else. But as I said, Bulgaria is a tough country, and only the strongest survive. But anyway, Santosh became really good friends with me, and no one touched him. Like, no one actually did any harm to Santosh. Like, who could hurt that guy? He was so sweet. Yeah, I really miss that guy. So we're gonna talk about bullying. I was bullied when I was a kid, but I was also a bully myself. And this is I'm gonna tell you the story from the beginning. So let's say, kindergarten. I was in Belgium in a British school, and already between kindergarten and I'd say 4th grade, I don't know if this is your experience, but already kids are sort of bullying each other. Like, when they say kids are cruel, they are, and that's one of those ages where they are actually super. We almost died there. Where they are super mean for no reason, and I think it has to do with instinct. I think kids at that age already sort of perceive weakness in others, and they don't like it. Hair split. That's very nice. I think it's not as good as felt blade. Still pretty cool. already a blue. How happy. And they already perceive this weakness in others. I think this is what happens, and that's why they get confused and they start pushing each other around, and eventually you get a pecking order where everyone's like calm, and I think the bullying stops. I was one of those people that, like, if I saw someone who was very weird or weak, I wouldn't say I bullied them, but I didn't treat them as nicely as other people. Like, I would not talk to them and things like that, which is kind of almost sort of a kind of bullying, sort of psychological bullying. But yeah, I'm not proud of that. But then later, I'd say around like 4th grade, no, maybe 2nd grade, I faced bullies, and what I would do is, I was so focused on standing up for myself at that age that, you know, you focus on that one guy who's making your life miserable, and you don't have time to bully other people. And in fact, you become friends with everyone. At least that's what happened with me. I just ended up being friends with, I didn't care what you were, if you were weak or not weak. If you didn't bully me, that was fine. We were friends. So yeah, at that age I was standing up for myself. But then something happened. Something which I think is a problem nowadays, which is I got confused as crap. Because let's say middle school, you know, between like 6th and 9th or 10th grade, I went through something where everyone was teaching me that I should turn the other cheek, especially in school. Like, the teachers would say, like, you know, take Jesus as example, turn the other cheek. If someone attacks you, you don't attack back, you turn the other cheek, because that you gotta be the better man. And that's very confusing. Okay, tell a kid that when they're beating the crap out of him, like, turn the other cheek. That doesn't help anyone, and this might not be the best advice in the world. I mean, who am I to say what you should do? This is just my experience. I got beat up like way more often because I turned the other cheek. In fact, turning the other cheek was the reason why I got bullied. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened. Though that sort of bullying had an effect on me, where I got kind of anxious and I lost confidence, and I didn't stand up for myself anymore, and this sort of bleeded into sorry, this sort of bled into the rest of my life, where being bullied and knowing that in the past I wasn't bullied, but then later I was, that sort of screwed me up a little for a few years, and I attribute this not to not fighting back as much as being confused, not sure, should I fight back? The teacher tells me not to. My mom is telling me you should. My dad is telling me I don't want you getting into trouble with the school. So, I mean, what do you expect? And I'm sure that my case was actually light. Like, I didn't get heavily bullied at all. It's just, no. I didn't get heavily bullied. I didn't have like that severe bullying that, like, you lose your hair over time and you've got like serious issues and things like that. I didn't have that. I just had light bullying, and people would pick on me from time to time. So I can't even imagine what it's like for someone who gets bullied severely, the trauma that they go through. Terrible. And I don't, everyone's like, oh, you could blame the institutions, you could blame schools, you could blame society. Society is so aggressive, and you could blame the parents because they're either overprotective or too aggressive with their kid. I would say it's a mix of everything. Like, let's just give an example. I was thinking about this last night. Let's say we've got a guy called Timmy. Timmy goes to 8th grade. Timmy is a huge fan of the outdoors. He wants to be like Steve Irwin. His biggest hero was Steve Irwin. And he sucks at certain classes in school, but he gets B's and he gets C's. But more than anything, he just wants to be outside and imagine crocodiles everywhere and that's all he wants to do for the rest of his life. Of course, the school is saying, at least indirectly, the school would be saying things like, that's not a career, there's no such thing as crocodile hana as a job. Crap, we died. There's no such thing. You know, eventually you're gonna grow up and you're gonna realize that there's no such thing like that. So whatever passion you have, you know, put it on hold for the rest of your life. So the kid already is starting off with a mentality where what he loves the most, we're gonna skip this guy, what he loves the most is not good enough for society. You wanna make money, then you just abandon that, whatever passion it is. I don't care what it is, just abandon it, because you got to find something, a breadwinning thing. And this is going to just bother us the whole time. Falcor is going to leave this guy alone. He's a big puppy. So that's, you know, Timmy and society. And as he's growing up, he's, you know, watching Instagram and seeing all the entrepreneurs, the 17-year-old entrepreneurs that are millionaires, and they're like, you know, you got to go out there and do it. You got to do it. You got dreams. You got to go follow them. You know, you got to just do it and buy my course. Be a millionaire. You know, just go out there and do it. And you might be thinking, oh, maybe Timmy's gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna go be a crocodile hunter. No, he's not being indoctrinated to do that. He's being told to go out there and make money, whatever it takes. You know. Be successful, make money. Be successful, make money. Drink. And at the same time, his parents are probably divided as to how should we raise our kid. He's being bullied now because he's weird, because, I don't know, he likes crocodile hunter or something. The teachers aren't doing anything about it, because technically the bully isn't beating him up on, I don't know, in class, let's say. Maybe they're doing it outside of the property, the school property, or maybe no one has any proof, or maybe Timmy's a known liar or something. It could be anything, but many times the teachers don't want to get involved because it's more trouble for them. And it's very easy to blame the parents. And in fact, what do you hear about most bullies? That they've been raised in a troubling, in a messed up household, and it has nothing to do with the teachers. No, it has to do with like the kid and his family. So, you know, teachers have a sort of excuse for that. And, you know, Timmy has friends, but Timmy doesn't have support. And he's being bombarded by ads telling him to do things. Come on, go. You're 13. You know, if you work hard, you know, at 17 you could be a multi-millionaire, just like everybody else in Instagram. Imagine the pressure. And then one day Timmy snaps, and all the National Geographic videos that he saw of the lion eating the antelope, or the cheetah hunting down whatever animal, a little bunny or something, or another antelope. All of those kill or be killed videos make sense, and he realizes, I'm not Steve Irwin, I'm the goddamn stingray. And how fast do you think that guy is gonna just abandon whatever he had planned for his life, because he has no support? And the only thing he does know is that there's one way to stop the bullying, and that's with force. And rather than controlling that force, rather than saying, okay, you know, I'm gonna fight back, or I'm gonna stand up to this guy, rather than that, he says, I'm gonna finish the problem. And I think I'm gonna leave it there. I think you can fill in the blanks, but I think that's what happened, especially, it still happens today, but it happened a few years ago, where there was like a school shooting, mass school shooting problem in America, but the bullying thing is worldwide. And I think that sort of mental, I wouldn't say instability, I'd say mental profile, is very easy to construct in today's world. So what's my opinion on what should have happened to Timmy? This is just my opinion, from my own experiences. This is what should have happened. I think, first of all, let's start with the parents. And I'm no parent, so I mean, I'm talking out of my ass here. But as someone who's been bullied and someone who has slightly bullied other people, I can tell you this. If Timmy would have simply explained what was happening to his parents and been like, listen, mom and dad, I need 10 minutes of your time, you know, just 10 minutes, please just listen to me. And, you know, maybe the dad and the mom were like, okay, like, damn, okay, I'll listen to you. What is it? And, you know, maybe he opens up and over an hour he just breaks down and explains, listen, this kid's like beating me up every time I leave school, and I'm worried that, you know, I didn't want to stand up because I didn't want to get us into trouble and things like that. And, you know, he just explains everything. And if the parents would have simply said, listen, we're going to get through this together, and instead of just attacking the teacher and being like, why is my kid being bullied? They could have been like, hey, listen, next time, you know, stand up to him, and no matter what happens, I'm going to support you with the teacher. I'll be like, Timmy was just defending himself. No matter what happens, no matter, you know, we're going to be there for you no matter what. But you have to solve this. Like, you're going to have to put your face there, you know? And this might be hard for parents because they don't want their kid to be hurt. But in my experience, kids that do that stand up, they get hurt way less. And yeah, they might get slapped around a little, but later on in life, very early, like after these events, you're gonna probably see a huge change in confidence, because that guy didn't get saved by anyone. He stood up for himself. He was strong, he was brave. And that bravery, when you're a kid and your mind is so plastic, that bravery makes all the difference in the world. So I would say, you know, take the risk. And so parents' point of view, you do that. That's what I would do. I'd be like, you do what you have to do, and I know you're a good kid. No matter what happens, we're gonna be here to support you. And you know, if it gets ugly, it gets ugly. But no matter what, we're here for you. And that's enough. And Timmy's gonna go out there and he's gonna stand up for himself. Now, what should Timmy do in school? This is what I would do. If the bullying continues, so like the bully keeps on going and every day it's the same, what you do, Timmy, is in the middle of class when everyone's paying attention, you stand up and you don't even look at your bully, because he's not worth your time. You look directly into the eyes of the teacher and you say, listen, Mr. So-and-so or Miss So-and-so, this person, and you talk about him in third person. You don't give him the right to even talk to him directly. You say, so-and-so person sitting there does this and this to me every day. If you don't do anything about this, or if the school doesn't do anything about this, I'm gonna solve this problem myself. That's all you have to say. I'm gonna solve this problem myself. And I know it sounds it sounds kind of aggressive, but that teacher is gonna crap their pants, and not because he or she is worried about like violence and things like that. No, because they're gonna realize this is serious. And if the teacher's like, I can't handle this by myself, because many teachers haven't been trained for this, and they're like, I'm going to take you to the principal and you're going to talk this through. Fine, talk to the principal. Get the government, which is the school there, because it's an authoritarian system. Schools are authoritarian. It's how I think it should be. Like, it's not a democracy. There's an authority that's supposed to protect the children. Get them involved. Tell them, listen, I don't feel safe in your own goddamn school. And this guy's been doing this forever. I've told the teacher like 1,000,000 times, but this time I'm announcing it. If no one does anything about this, I'm going to stand up for myself and I'm going to fix the problem myself. Simple as that. And I guarantee it's going to have way better effect than if the kid just, you know, crumples up and poor guy just takes the beating and shows the other, what's the word? Shows the other the cheek. That's my experience. Kind of intense. The thing is, I take this subject very seriously because I have seen the effect it has on kids, and I've seen people that were bullied severely grow up to have confidence issues, and some of them get bullied in work. Like, that's the thing, you know, they go to the office and they feel bullied, and of course, since you're an adult by then, you're expected to solve your own problems. But nobody taught you. If nobody taught you to solve your own problems, if nobody taught you to stand up for yourself, especially when you're still a little kid, then how do you expect them to apply that knowledge that doesn't exist in them to the world? Some people really think that the best, the higher ground is always the weaker decision. So, for example, some people think that going, you know, not standing up for yourself and going to the authority and expecting them to solve everything for you, they think that's the higher ground. It's not. It's not the higher ground. You've got a right when you're born. Every living being in the entire universe has a right to defend themselves. Every single one. And especially human beings, because we're emotionally aware. There's a whole bunch of other kinds of assaults that you can do apart from physical assaults, and you've got all the right in the world to defend yourself against these assaults. So don't be afraid. Understand, if you're Timmy, understand that you're not alone, but understand that you're gonna have to do the heavy lifting, and you're gonna have to put your face there, and it's gonna be tough, and you might get beat up, but trust me, the strength you gain from being independent and strong and brave will solve, I'd say, most of your problems. And eventually you're going to stop getting bullied. Just like I got stopped. Eventually I stood up for myself, and I learned that I stopped being so confused about like what I should do when someone attacks me, or should I be kind or should I be mean. And eventually, you know, you find a balance, okay, like in everything. You realize that there's a limit to how violent you should be. You realize where the line is, you know, like obviously you don't kill someone, but if someone pushes you, you push back. And eventually maybe no one perceives that weakness that the kids perceive them. Like the thing I said earlier, how I think kids perceive that weakness and they have an instinct to sort of reject it. Maybe they don't detect that weakness anymore when people grow up, and they stop bullying you. Remember, bullies, they never look for someone equally or strong or stronger than them. It's not their MO. Their psych profile doesn't do that, because they're not doing it out of bravery. They're doing it out of kind of like cowardice, in my opinion. It's got many, obviously, like many bullies have many reasons as to why they do it, and it's never pretty. It's never pretty. But yeah, there's like a underlying core, which is it's a form of cowardice. Maybe I've always believed that if you're strong enough, then you're strong enough to be gentle. And ask any girl, any girl out there, the real meanies, the bad people in life, are not the strong. They're actually the weak, one way or another. You know, it could be physical, it could be mental, whatever, but the bad people out there that like to hurt others are usually the weakest. They have to prove something to someone. So yeah, this was supposed to be a funny episode. It's kind of morose, I know. It's not what I had planned, but I don't know. I also wanted to say one thing, just having finished the subject. I might, since I've been feeling kind of down with this whole throat ache thing, I might have to skip a few days. I might not upload tomorrow or maybe after. because I need to recuperate from this throat ache, and I'm gonna try to stay in bed, nice and warm. That's why I have my little cape here. I couldn't resist today because I felt like playing. But if I feel worse and if my temperature keeps going up, then I'm gonna have to take a break and not be stupid about it. So I'm trying to keep this channel as professional as possible. So I'm just letting you know that if I don't upload for a while, it's because of that. Because honestly, I'm having so much fun doing this that if I could, I would upload every day. Yeah. Oh, and shout out to my Reddit fans. I got a whole bunch of upvotes because I made a Reddit post about this, about how I'm making videos about, you know, Titan Quest and leukemia, and it got positive feedback, and I was actually so humbled because I like Reddit, but I'd never posted anything before, so I feel really honored. Thanks, guys. And we reached a huge milestone. We broke 50 subscribers, which is really cool. I'm really happy about that. 50 is to me it's a respectable number, and hopefully it's only going to go up. I've been getting good feedback about the stories. A friend of mine called Gon was like, you're gonna F it up. That thing about bullying the Indian kid. And I'm like, come on. I think it's pretty clear that we didn't do anything. Like, Santosh turned out to be one of my best friends. And he's like, you know, anything, and you say one wrong word, and you know, your whole YouTube career, if there's any YouTube career, you know, goes down the drain. And I'm like, well, maybe I gotta pay more attention to what I say. But you're never gonna see me edit these videos, because I have a feeling that, like, to me at least, there's a certain sincerity to what I talk about, and by editing the videos, that sort of sincerity, it doesn't crack, but it's not as good as if it's just raw content, you know. Let's see, I just want to check. Where is... Yeah, we've got our... we did our fountain. We're going to end the episode here. We reached Delphos. Sorry, Delphi in English. We reached Delphi, and we gave the Oracle the branch. I don't know if you saw that. And basically the Oracle is saying that she knows the source of the monsters, that I should travel through the Parnassus Caves. So we're going to head to the Parnassus Caves next episode. And that's it. I really hope you enjoyed this very interesting discussion on bullying. It's a cool subject. It's not pretty sometimes, but I think there's a lot to learn from it as a subject. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Like and subscribe. It really helps me. And see you. Bye.